What if I told you that debt isn't the enemy? In fact, the rich love debt because it makes them more money. But when regular people like you and me get into debt, we lose everything. So why is that?
Nice.
Why do the rules apply differently to the rich and the poor, and how can you make debt work for you? Welcome to the channel. The rich have mastered debt. They use it to buy real estate, stocks, businesses, and other income-producing assets. But the poor and middle class use debt to buy liabilities like cars, TVs, and vacations. As a result, the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. But here's the crazy thing. The rich don't actually pay off their own debt. Instead, they let other people pay off their debt through rental income, dividends, or business profits. For example, let's say you want to buy a rental property for $1 million. You could save up the entire amount over several years, but that would take a lot of time and discipline. Or you could take out a mortgage loan for 90% of the purchase price and only put 10% down. This way you can start making money right away with leverage. The problem is most people don't know how to use debt to their advantage. They use it for things that lose value, like a vacation, which will never make you money back. That's why most people are afraid of debt. It seems complicated and risky. If you don't manage it correctly, debt can quickly spiral out of control. But when used wisely, debt can be a powerful tool for building wealth. So what's the secret to mastering debt? Here are some tips from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. 1. Differentiate between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is debt that you use to buy assets that make you money, like a rental property or a business. Bad debt is debt that you use to buy liabilities that cost you money, like a new car or an expensive vacation. 2. Understand the difference between financial assets and non-financial assets. Financial assets are assets that make you money even when you're not working, like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Non-financial assets are assets that don't make you any money, like a new TV or a swimming pool. The rich focus on acquiring financial assets, while the poor and middle class focus on acquiring non-financial assets. 3. Learn how to read financial statements. Most people don't know how to read financial statements, so they can't tell if a business is profitable or not. This is a big mistake. You want to be financially successful, you need to learn how to read financial statements. This way you can avoid buying unprofitable businesses that will drain your cash. 4. Understand the power of leverage. Leverage is when you use borrowed money to make more money. The rich use leverage to grow their wealth, while the poor and middle class use leverage to buy liabilities that they can't afford. For example, when you buy a house with a mortgage, you're using leverage to buy an asset. If you buy a liability with a loan, you're using leverage to buy a liability that you can't afford. 5. Focus on buying assets that generate passive income. Passive income is money that you earn without having to actively work for it. The best assets to buy are those that generate passive income, such as rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, and businesses that you can operate with employees. By focusing on buying assets that generate passive income, you can create a source of income that will continue to grow even when you stop working. 6. Use the cash flow approach to investing. The cash flow approach is a method of investing that focuses on generating positive cash flow, rather than focusing on long-term capital appreciation. This approach involves investing in assets that generate cash flow from day one. This can include rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, and businesses that generate profits. By using the cash flow approach, investors can create a stream of income that can be used to fund their lifestyle and provide financial security. Additionally, positive cash flow can be reinvested to acquire more assets and generate even more income, leading to exponential wealth growth. 7. Invest in your financial education. Most people don't invest in their financial education, which is the biggest reason why they stay poor. To become financially successful, you need to invest in your financial education. This means reading books, attending seminars, and doing whatever it takes to improve your financial literacy. By improving your financial literacy, you'll be able to make smarter investment decisions and avoid costly financial mistakes. Now, you may be wondering, why doesn't everyone just follow these tips? Well, that's because there's one major obstacle that prevents most people from becoming financially successful. That obstacle is fear. Fear of failure, fear of debt, fear of the unknown. These fears hold people back and prevent them from taking the actions necessary to achieve financial success. To overcome this fear, you need to first have a clear understanding of your financial situation. You need to know your income, expenses, and net worth. By tracking your finances, you will be able to see where your money is going and identify areas where you can cut back. Next, you need to set realistic financial goals. This means setting goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. By setting SMART goals, you'll have a clear roadmap to follow and be able to track your progress over time. Finally, you need to develop a plan to achieve your financial goals. This plan should include steps that you can take to increase your income, reduce your expenses, and build your assets. For example, if your goal is to buy a rental property, you need to figure out how much you can afford to spend, what type of property to buy, and where to find the best deals. You also need to decide how you're going to finance the purchase and manage the property. Without a plan, it's easy to get sidetracked and lose focus. So by following these steps and taking action towards your financial goals, you can overcome your fear and achieve financial success. That's it for today. Do you agree with the ideas presented in this video? Comment below. We would love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks for watching.